Finnegan's Garage. Special episode. I have Freiburger with me. We are road tripping across America in the limo truck while hauling Stubby Bob back to Georgia, and we have miles to go. What better time to answer your questions and for you to get to know Mr. Freiburger even more, you know?
I have a question.
Yeah, buddy.
Is this officially limo truck or stripper truck?
I like stripper truck.
Yeah, or candy?
I've thought of stripper glitter, candy, the stripper truck, the limo truck. It's got a lot of names. I don't think any of them are wrong. Stripper truck works.
Stripper truck. It used to be limo truck to me, and it's become stripper truck. I don't know what.
Stripper truck it is. There we go. You heard it here first. We just named it. All right, and so I put a post on the internet asking you guys for questions. I have some of my own for Mr. Freiburger, so I'll kick it off here. Question number 1. Would you rather publish your complete camera roll in your phone, unedited, or would you have every text message you've ever sent broadcast throughout the world unedited?
Oh, camera roll, 100%.
Oh, all right. Nothing incriminating there.
No, there's nothing questionable in my camera roll. As a matter of fact, it's probably nothing but footage of my YouTube episodes.
So then text messages, those would be the career enders then, huh?
Yeah, probably.
All right. I hope none of mine are in there. Question number 2. Would you drive an EV as your only means of transportation for the next 3 years, or do a 7-year stint in county lockup?
Oh, the EV, of course. I mean, as much as it's soul-sucking, it's still freedom versus county lockup.
It is freedom.
Yeah, I mean, the EV, there was a time when I saw the way the government was going in California where I thought, you know what, by the time I'm 75 or 80, I'm just going to have no choice but to have an EV just to get around. But it doesn't look like it's going that way now. The whole industry is backing away from it.
Yeah, that's true. Everyone is going, yeah, that thing that we were forcing everyone on, that none of them ever asked for, we're not going to do that anymore. It's bad for business.
Yeah, turns out that's not making money.
It's a bad business model to just push things on people they didn't ask for. Okay, here's some more for you. Nitrous, turbos, or supercharger?
I'm a supercharger guy. None of them are a bad answer. Nitrous is the cheapest, easiest, I think, but the refills are inconvenient in LA. Turbos are probably the best for straight up power, but more complicated to install and tune, in my opinion, and take up more space and junk under the hood.
Yeah.
And either a centrifugal supercharger or a roots blower or a screw, I just find easier to bolt on, easier to manage the boost.
Okay. Is it ever okay to put steak sauce on your ribeye?
Yeah. I was actually sitting there going, why wouldn't you?
Oh, wow.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Horrible idea. Like,
You know,
A1, like it shouldn't need that.
Well, here's the thing. I don't put steak sauce on any steak, but I will use A1 on like corn chips or an English muffin. A1's pretty good.
That's fair. Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
Oh, no. You don't do that.
Let's see.
My go-to pizza is the bacon, onion, and olive.
Did you say bacon, onion, and olive?
Yep, and you can throw some jalapenos on there if you're staying home the next day.
You had me until you said olives. I don't know. I'm not an olive kind of guy, but the rest of it sounds great. Is there ever a moment or a scenario where you think it's advantageous not to have the scoreboard slit at a drag race? Right.
No, I don't love that. I guess I'm not intrigued by the, no time and the big secrecy.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I prefer data.
I do too. Like as a guy sitting in the grandstands, the no time thing, I want to know why the guy won. How big was the whole shot advantage, or did you have to pedal it in the middle? And a lot of times you're watching and everything happens so fast, it's hard to know. And then when the scoreboards aren't lit, you're like, oh, well, somebody won, but Was he a better driver? Was the tuner better? You know, like.
Did he just set a record? Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, the last one, food related from me. Then we'll go to the audience question.
Okay.
Is it ever okay for a grown man to eat a corn dog in public?
Well, I've seen a lot of it.
Like footlongs, you know?
I've seen you ingest quite a few corn dogs.
I'll have 2 at a time. There's no shame, you know?
He really has no shame on corn dogs whatsoever.
You know, I mean, there's rules to this. Like, you don't ever bring your face to the corn dog. You bring the corn dog to your face, and you know,
okay.
Go sideways. Don't go vertical. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I celebrate corn dogs.
Do you put mustard on the corn dog?
Absolutely never.
No way?
Never. Mustard on nothing ever.
Really?
Yeah, not into it.
Do you put anything on the corn dog? Would you put ranch on the corn dog?
So if it's a great corn dog, like fair style, really crunchy, it needs nothing, you know. Disneyland corn dogs, some of the best over there at California Adventures, outstanding. Most fairs, outstanding. Truck stop corn dogs, they do the job, but rarely are they ever crispy on the outside, you know. You just eat them because it's convenient.
You are the corn dog connoisseur.
I appreciate them all.
I see a t-shirt coming.
Last question that I have for you, and I already know the answer, but the fans ask me all the time, so I'm going to ask you. Will you ever do Hot Rod Drag Week? As a competitor, not a
Probably
announcer?
not.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, then let us flip the phone over to your questions. Lucas Knutson says, are you still planning on building that Lexus for Drag Week? Yes, it is in process. It's been slow going. I haven't been in a hurry for it because Cadillac and other things. But I think this year we will drive the Lexus. It's really far along. It's just, it hasn't been worked on lately because the shop that it's at, they build pro mods. And now that you have all these different places for pro mod racers to race now, there's not a lot of off season anymore. So that project, the Lexus, was in a pro mod shop kind of getting worked on in the off season and when those dudes weren't rubbing up against the wall with their cars. But now that there's so many pro mod events, there's no time to work on my Lexus. It's going to happen because that, you know, my boy Ryan wants it off of his table and out of his shop because it's been there a while. But, you know, his bread and butter is building, repairing, modifying pro mod cars, and he's really busy with that right now. So, yes, the Lexus will be out eventually, hopefully this year. That'd be great. Here's a decent one. Nut Driver Motorsports says, what is your favorite truck stop food and favorite truck stop in general?
It's not pump cheese bacon burrito, I can tell you that, because I just ingested and outgested one a few minutes ago.
Quick download there, huh?
Right.
What would it be then? Like any truck stop in America, which one's your favorite and what's your favorite go-to snack?
I don't have a favorite truck stop. It's just whatever happens to be there. And it seems like even within the same chain, you get a lot of variables from stop to stop. You have any idea where I'm going? Because I don't. And,
head towards the Lamborghini.
Yeah.
And then turn right.
But I like, what's the one that has roller food? There's one that has really good roller food and all sorts of dogs. And
every single one, brother.
They all do?
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll go. My favorite truck stop is the one that has the Thing tour.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I've been to it so many times. This is one of my favorite truck stops. We're still in Arizona. Probably went, I don't know, 60 or 70 miles, and we needed gas. And what better place to get fuel than a truck stop with the Thing? What's the Thing? You're just gonna have to go inside and see. I think it costs $2, and the Thing has changed over the years. There used to be some cars involved. I don't think there's cars involved. I think they're on a whole alien trip now. And you don't get to the Thing till the very end of the tour, but totally worth it if you have low standards for entertainment. Clearly you do. You're watching this, so let's go inside. And I just love seeing the Thing. Is that on? That's in Arizona. Is it on the 10?
40.
It's on the 40. Okay.
Yep.
So yeah, like you'll know it if you're heading east or west on the 40 in Arizona. You'll see 20 different signs for "Have you seen the Thing?" And if you've watched my channel, you know what it is. If you're new to the channel, I won't tell you what it is. It is worth stopping in for. Absolutely. Favorite truck stop food? That's easy. Corn dogs.
Oh.
As long as they're fresh.
Lying.
Yeah, love them.
Yeah.
Meat on a stick. I'm in Freiburger. Dale Scram says, what's your favorite carb to run on a Chevy 350? I got no specs for it, but it's a Chevy 350.
Yeah, you got no specs, so that's hard. If you look at my channel, there is a video that is called Double Pumper versus Vacuum Secondary. It's a follow-up to my tuning video. And in that video, I give the part number and description of this QFT carburetor I found. It is my favorite street carburetor right now. It is 600 or 650, 600 vacuum secondary. But the reason I like it is that it has adjustable air bleeds and idle feed restrictions and power valve restrictions.
Oh, that's high end.
Perfect the thing. The old school Holley 600 doesn't have any of that adjustability. And so look that up. It's a QFT, and I don't remember which series it is.
Which, I didn't even know that carb existed. I'd like to try it because, for instance, during this road trip, we took an out-of-the-box Holley 3310, which is a 4160 style carb. It has a front metering plate, but not a back one, and it's vacuum secondaries for the... And it's really... It's a 750. It's really good out of the box. Like, we've done zero tuning to it. However, it does not have adjustable air bleeds or idle feed restrictors. Although we've not changed the power valve, there's points in the throttle where the power valve is open and this thing's running at like 11.5 to 1 on a slight grade. And it would be great for it not to be running at 11.5 to 1 there, because when he backs off the throttle just a little bit, it's going to be 13 to 1 just motoring down the highway like money. So...
And it's hard to find a street carburetor that has the adjustable power valve restrictions.
Yes.
And that's what you would want to do in that circumstance. You want the power valve open.
Yep.
You just don't want it to be as rich, so you can put in a smaller PVR, and then it doesn't flow as much fuel, and it's a happy day.
Yeah. Like, it's opening when you want it to open. We just don't want as much fuel going through it, you know? And on this carburetor, we can't do that. R. Blaine says, does it ever get daunting when you realize how many hours or miles you have until you could sleep in your own bed?
Yes.
You mean like right now?
I think we've already run through that.
In a normal car, I'm 20 hours from home and it's Thursday. I would love to get home and do my laundry because I'm out of clothes, spend 24 hours with my family, and then pack, load, make sure Blaspheme's right, and leave for Florida.
They have
But
airplanes now.
they do, except there's ice storms everywhere, and I'm tempted when we get to Dallas to look again to see, I can get a seat on a plane, but is that plane going to land in Atlanta when there's another storm coming? I don't know. So I'm in that space where, do I just bomb home and go as quick as I can, as few stops as I can? Or do I sit at the airport and find out, oh, your flight's delayed or canceled?
So if you don't end up driving this to Bradenton, you're going to fly to Orlando. That's my guess.
No, I mean, like, so we'll get to Dallas today. Truck's great. I feel like we'll make it.
It's a cannonball.
We do some filming, you know, and then I either cannonball straight to my home in Georgia or hop a plane tonight or tomorrow morning again to go to Georgia and then leave this with Emily and Aaron, or just keep going.
The really fun part is when you do get to Florida in sick week, it's still going to be 20 degrees.
It's going to be even colder. Like the forecast for the beginning of sick week, especially registration day, which is Sunday, is a low of 18 and a high of, I think, 40. And who I most worry about in that scenario is not the racers, because it's registration day and test and tune. Test and tune's going to be, you know, a crap show. I feel bad for everybody who's got to sit in line and tech those cars, because they're going to be absolutely frozen. Like, I hope Tom Bailey gives everybody those stand-up propane heaters at their individual stations.
Tanya needs it.
Or they're going to just, 18 degrees standing outside, teching cars for 6 or 7 or 8 hours would suck. So, there's that. Let's see. No, here's one. Robert Bond official says, you have a picture of any Australian car. Which car do you choose?
You know, I just don't know them well enough. I can't make a smart answer on that.
I don't know very many of them, but I know I like the Australian Valiant Charger, which doesn't look much like a Dodge Charger in America, but it's just neat looking. And then, you know, there's some Holdens, you know, Commodores, VQs that are cool looking.
Monaro.
Yeah, the Monaro. But
no idea what I'm talking about.
those are the only 3 names I know,
Well, there's the Falcon.
and I can't picture the Falcon, but I can picture the Commodore, and I like it. And that Valiant Charger, what's the guy at Drag Week that comes over, the silver one?
John Ferrone.
John Ferrone. I like his car.
And then there's also the more modern Golden V8 cars and the Utes that come with LS motors.
Yeah. And then I just like that, even if it's not a domestically made Australian car, they get cars over there we don't get here, which is awesome. Like 4-door mini trucks. You can get a 4-door Hilux over there. Like, they got cool stuff to look at. I think that's the benefit of going to foreign places, is to see vehicles you don't have here, and then somehow try to import one without telling your wife. Because every woman would want a right-hand drive 4-door something she never asked for, and that would be awkward to drive.
Take her to Paris and look for the Citroens.
No, those are fugly, bro. I don't like Citroens, and I don't like old school Volvos. There's those really weird looking ones. I'm not a Saab guy. Like, nah. I can't think of a French car that I'm like, yep, I need that. We got to import that. But Japanese, all day long, All right. This guy's asking, what's our fuel economy?
Well, our peak is 2.8.
Yes.
And our best is 5.25.
No, 5.8. It's been our best. So with the old 454, which was poorly tuned and unhappy, it put about 106 wheel horsepower to the ground. And up hills, going through San Diego, getting into Arizona, we got 2.8. It was wild. Like, we were going 12 miles an hour in first gear, towing Stubby Bob up these mountains. And now, with way more cubes, we went from 454 to 489, better heads, thank you AFR, better rotating assembly, thank you SCAT, better cam, thank you comp cams. We now put somewhere between 300 and 400 of the tires, we're not sure, and we're getting better mileage, and we're bombing down the highway in fourth gear with the converter locked up at 70 miles an hour. Something we could never do before. The top speed of this thing before was 64 miles an hour on flat ground. That's all it would do wide open. So couldn't be happier with what we're going and what we're doing, no matter what the mileage is. Who has the weaker bladder on road trips? That's from TJF. I think it depends on what we've consumed.
Yeah.
Corn dogs don't usually screw me up. Here's an interesting one. Casey McClure, what do you think needs to be passed down to the next generation of car enthusiasts?
Just working with your kids in general. I guess I don't care what vehicle it is, as long as you're learning mechanical stuff. Because anything you learn on a car tends to translate to fixing stuff around the house, just repairing junk.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to see more and more kids needing those skills as AI starts to mess with, every other job.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, 10 years ago, I was maybe a little worried about the next generation of kids and whether they'd be into cars. I'm no longer worried. Kids are 100% into cars, and I think that's largely because of social media and YouTube. Really, I think the only thing kids need to know going forward is they need to have that inclination to want to do things like that, like take something apart and put it back together. They need to realize it's not rocket science. You're not curing cancer. You should not be afraid to take things apart, especially with the resources you have now. Like, you have YouTube. You can get educated before you ever take something apart, which will greatly increase your chances of success. And to his point, like my kids both want to be YouTubers because that's who they watch. They both want to play video games. They both sit around and design their own video games on platforms like Roblox and Minecraft. And the thing I've told them is, that's great, but learn how to build the hardware, because not everybody can just program software. At some point, when the lights go out, you're going to have to know how to build a battery and bring the power back on. You're going to have to know how to fix the computers. you know? And so the more people that understand how to repair things or build things or invent things, the better off they'll be. So let's see. 765 Josh says, will you ever get back into mini trucking for a year or so? Have you ever tried to get your original mini truck back? He's 17 with a bagged S10. His dad tells him about when I was the editor of Mini Truckin'. And me and Tito back in the day were really important in the scene. Well, first off, thanks, Josh. I don't know how important I was to the scene, but Tito was. I mean, I wouldn't be sitting here without that guy. Will I ever get back into it? Absolutely. I've been buying mini trucks lately. I'll be honest, I bought 2 in the last 12 months. I'm gonna drop a gear and disappear. I have planned on going to the mini truck Nats in Maggie Valley, North Carolina for the last 3 years, and I just couldn't make it happen. My oldest son wants to go to that in the worst way. He wants to take Alex Anderson's old Toyota and go there and cruise it, and so do I. The dates just seem not to work out with a bunch of family stuff that happens that time of year. But he and I are going to do mini truck content because I bought a mini truck that he called dibs on. He's almost driving age, and he wants to drive a mini truck to high school. So to answer your question, oh yeah, absolutely, I'll get back into it. I'm excited to. 64 Tim says, when are we going to see a Corvair build or the Jaguar competing at one of Cletus's Burnout contests?
I would say Jaguar is not competing at one of Cletus's deals because those are just over the top, pro, super high dollar, crazy.
I think they have 2 classes. And you're right, the one, I think it's Burnout Rivals. Yeah, you need a blown alcohol motor, all the gear, and you know, yeah. But the other thing about it is, even if you do the other class, you gotta not care about whether you're touching a wall.
Or smashing, yeah.
Because the only way to win really is to do great tire smoke, but to just go nuts inside that box, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't think you want to smash the Jaguar. Which, by the way, in my opinion, is the ultimate stock Burnout platform. Because of the rear end gear, and you can buy one that's already V8 swapped with a turbo 350 or 400 in it, and with the 278 rear gear, it will just destroy tires. It's outstanding. So build one of those.
Yeah. If you don't have water in the oil.
That's helpful.
Yeah.
JP Racing and Performance says, do you drink mass quantities of alcohol before coming up with these ideas? Not always. But more than a few of them have been the result of me having beer.
Yeah.
And probably you. I'll paint you a picture. I think you remember it. Part of it. You and I sitting outside of a motel in Wickenburg.
Is that our guys?
No. Smoking cigars, drinking Coronas, pretty tipsy. We have the Crusher Camaro sitting directly in front of us.
Oh, yeah.
And we were daydreaming ideas. This is before Roadkill ever happened. And some of those ideas did ultimately end up as Roadkill episodes.
I can remember the scene, I don't remember the specifics.
Yeah, I don't remember which idea it was, but there was talk of going to the Vegas event, Muscle Cars at the Strip. Which we did. But yeah, in the beginning, a lot of them did come from us sitting around having Coronas. Most of mine occur to me while driving, or oddly enough, if I'm in the shower. Whenever I'm in the shower, I got time to think, and I don't know why, just stuff will pop in my head. I'll wake up in the middle of the night with an idea, and then I have to write it down or I forget it. But yeah, alcohol certainly helps. I'm not telling you to drink. I'm just saying, for me, you know, it helps. It's really cold out. I've got beanies at fsmgarage.com if you want one right now. 3 colors. Cosmic blue, Rojo Grande red, burnt toast black. Got them all. What are your thoughts on Yugos?
I don't want to go, you go.
I like them. I think they're hysterical looking.
They are hilarious. They need more big block though.
There's a great video of a guy racing one where both inside wheels come off the ground around the corners. and it's just, they're so small they look fun. How much of a limit does wifey give you in the Amex? She doesn't. She's got her own. I should probably find out what her limit is. That would be more concerning than mine. Oh, here's a good one from Wildman Crisp. What is your favorite car build of each other's, and which ones would you like to see line up against each other?
Well, I voted Blasphemy #1 when we did the top cars of Roadkill.
I remember that.
Just for longevity and success and sticking with it, refining it, and the episode with you and Tony winning class, all that.
It was an interesting time. That was during the pandemic.
Yeah.
And we were both at our own homes making Roadkill episodes, which some of it was actually pretty cool. Some of it was pretty creative. Like we did one where he built an engine at home. Newbern and I rebuilt the motor in my mini truck, the 22R, and then we Zoom called each other and compared. And I think you finished before us. And then we did one where Tony went to a drag strip after building a car. We went to a drag strip after rebuilding Newbern's Nova, and we raced virtually, and we were within a tenth of each other, which is wild. Like, he was in PA at one drag strip, we were in Georgia, and Newbern's car went bottom sevens in the 8th, and so did Tony's car. Tony won, but it was pretty remarkable how close they were.
COVID was weird.
Yes. But as for which ones I want to see line up, I'd like a rematch between the Rubber Duck and the Crusher. I'd like a rematch between Blasphemy and the F-Rod, because I think that's a great race. And then I would like Vindication on Woodward Avenue between Super B and Blasphemy, me and you.
I feel comfortable with my record there, though.
It's a really good record. For you. This guy has a long name with letters and numbers. I don't know what it is. Did you guys kill Bostic and dump his body along the road?
I think he wanted to be that guy there for a moment.
You think you wanted to jump out?
Yes.
I think Bostic got a crash course in what it's like to film one of these, and the lengths we're willing to go to for something like, building an engine in a limousine. But he's as down for the causes as I've met ever in my life, and so he went full beast mode, never quit. And no, we don't want to ever kill Bostic, because he's a good friend and a great engine builder. David, how would you recommend for someone to get into the drag racing scene? This comes from Carter Gatton.
That's easy. Go to your local track. They're actually everywhere. People talk about how they're all closing down, but there's a bunch of them, probably more than there were in the 60s and 70s, actually. And you can just go there and run your car. Easy enough. And then you can learn how to bracket race if you want to. And then you can move into an actual heads-up class. It's, I guess, not a mystery. You just show up, you just do it.
I'll go, because I do think it is intimidating to say I want to go drag racing. As a kid who didn't grow up near a drag strip, and by that I mean there were drag strips, but they weren't within 50 miles of me, which as a teenager, that felt like going to another world. So I didn't grow up with it, I wasn't near it. And so the idea of just saying, I'm going to go and run my car is probably a little overwhelming for me as a kid and for other people. And so I would say, join a Facebook group for drag racing. There's a bunch of them. And if you want to keep it more local than that, find a local shop that builds cars and just go there and become friends, become a customer. They will take you under their wing. And then when you go there, you have people with you, people behind you that will back you up and make sure you understand what you're doing and that you don't have to worry about the consequences, and you're not going to look like an idiot. Like, everything from how does the tree work, how do you stage the car, what do you have to do to your car to make it legal. That info is all out there. You don't have to, just show up. So that's what I would do. Can I please ask Freiburger if he's ever been to Fulton Dragway in Michigan? I drove by it last year and it looked like it was in someone's yard. reminded me of Roadkill. Good luck with the trip. That's from Awful Clown.
I don't think I know that one, so no.
Okay, I don't either. The Soft Hours says, we know he wears flip-flops 90% of the time, but what's his favorite shoe to wear when he doesn't have flip-flops on?
Well, I actually had to discover this answer because when I got a job last year as an NHRA reporter, which is professional drag racing, you're not allowed to wear sandals and shorts for TV.
How weird.
Yeah, it made no sense to me, but it was a rule.
You've been on TV in sandals and shorts, though.
It doesn't make sense. I pointed that out to them. It didn't seem to sway them. I had to go shopping for shoes that I could stand in all day long.
Yep.
And I tried everything. I went to a Skechers outlet and tried on virtually every shoe there.
Right.
People talk about the Hokas. Apparently those are the new stand around shoe. Couldn't find one that didn't mess me up. Shoes mess up my back. It's a big reason why I wear the sandals. And what I ultimately came up with is pretty hipster. They're Doc Martens. Doc Marten Airwalks.
So 10 hole, what are we talking? How tall are these bad boys? Are they boots or shoes?
They're just shoes.
4 holes? Okay. Man, I haven't worn Doc Martens. It's been a minute. Because they were, when I was in high school, they were huge. Everybody wore them. Everybody had a bomber jacket and Doc Martens and a chain wallet. But man, it's been a while. What's your favorite Batmobile? That's from Spaceman 7 Spiff.
Oh, the original.
The original. The original's cool. But the original was a little bit before my time, so I kind of lean towards, the Tim Burton 1988 or 89 version.
No, Adam West Batmobile's the one.
Although the Christian Bale movies had some sick Batmobiles, like the one with the giant wheels that ran up walls and stuff.
With all the super swappers all across the back.
Yeah, that thing's cool. TJ Euthers, what is the most interesting breakdown story you have had with your significant others? Oh, that's a good one.
Before I was married, we were on a trip in my Dodge Ram. We were in the middle of the desert. It was night, looking for a place to camp, sleep in the back. And I dropped a left front wheel into a big hole and couldn't get out. It was completely stuck.
In the dark?
In the dark. And so we're like, well, I guess we'll camp here.
Crooked?
Yes.
So you didn't sleep in the truck?
No, so 3 bags down on the ground, the whole deal. And that was when the coyotes started to howl quite a bit.
Oh.
Get closer and closer. And, they won't bug you, but...
Still scary.
So we went inside, slept in the cab overnight, and the next morning, to get the thing out, I had to take one of my good old Coleman coolers, the metal wrap ones.
Oh, yeah.
Like vintage.
Yeah.
And somehow I got it wedged under the tire and hammered rocks and everything enough to get out.
Dang.
Yep.
That's a good story. Sadly, I've had a lot of breakdowns with my wife.
Yeah.
Which is why we don't really road trip very often anymore. Most of them involved her El Camino. But probably the worst one, and I don't know if it's the most interesting one, but the worst one for her was when I first started working with David, I had a 73 Chevy C10 short bed. And it was my only vehicle. So it was my daily driver. Yeah, it had a 5.3, it had a Whipple. It was my daily driver, it was my tow rig, everything. So if I went boat racing, it hauled the boat. If I went to the river to go camping, that's what we took. And so one weekend we went to Yuma, Arizona to hang out with Bostic and a whole bunch of other people, Andy Rawls and the Roushers. We were going boating. And we had our dog with us in the cab of the truck on our way home. And in Blythe, it threw the serpentine belt and it ran everything. So it's 110 degrees out. We have no air conditioning. The truck's overheating because the water pump's not turning. It's Sunday, and it's 5 at night. Nobody could get me the belt. So I don't know if you know a lot about Blythe, but the hotels there 20 years ago were not good.
Right, they still aren't.
So we end up in a crap hole motel. My wife misses work. The hotel doesn't want the dog in the room. There's nothing we could do about it, so we had to keep our dog from barking. My wife is really unhappy with me, but more importantly, she's unhappy with that truck. And that was the first time in our relationship she ever went, get rid of that truck, never again. And so shortly after that, I sold it for way too little so that I could buy a reliable daily driver. And I'm so sad I did it. I sold that truck for $13,000, which was dirt cheap for, a blown LS. It was a nice truck. It was painted, it was lowered, it was cool. And that's probably not my most interesting breakdown, but the one that I remember the most because it cost me a truck.
And you got a Tundra.
Yeah, I bought a Tundra, and that was my first. And how many of those did I have? I think I've had 3 Tundras. That wasn't my first. I've had 3 Tundras though, and they're great. They don't break down. I love them, except I guess for the new ones with the turbo V6, they break down. Favorite car movie?
I would say Dirty Mary, Crazy Larry. I, in my adulthood, have realized that the character of Crazy Larry is not a cool guy at all, so I feel kind of dirty about it. But the car chase scenes and all of that are the best.
Oh yeah, he's a dirtbag.
Yeah.
At one point, he says he's gonna break her crotch or something.
Yeah.
He's not a good human. But the car chasing is awesome. My favorite is a toss-up between 2-Lane Blacktop and Bullet, because of the action in Bullet. The car chasing is incredible, and I just love 2-Lane Blacktop, everything about that movie. So
Even the ending.
The ending's unsatisfying, for sure. But the end of Dirty Mary Crazy Larry is unforgettable, but also I'm like, damn, that sucks. And I won't tell you the ending of either one of those if you've never seen them, but the ending of Dirty Mary Crazy Larry, I was like, holy crap, I did not see that coming.
The first time you saw it, when I was a teen, when there was no streaming and it wasn't just on TV, and the first time you go, whoa!
Yeah.
You do not see it coming.
Yeah. What's the plans for Stubby Bob? Well, it's behind us right now. Why don't you kind of tell the story of how we ended up here? And then I'll continue with what the plan is.
Well, when Motor Trend shut down the original productions of the TV shows, a lot of the vehicles that were on the shows became available to us hosts, which was actually very cool.
Yeah.
And so we sort of talked and sort of split up what each one of us was going to get to some extent, and others I just sort of got. And Stubby Bob was one of them that was available, and so I bought it because it needed to be saved. There was some stuff that went in the crusher, couldn't see that happen. It was a pain to get it to Finnegan's place. He ended up taking the Watson and the vet card, some other stuff. I subsequently realized there was no chance that me, without a shop, without fabrication skills, without time, I was never going to actually do Stubby Bob justice. And so I decided Finnegan needed to have it. And right now, we are hauling Stubby Bob all the way east from LA to Georgia with the limo truck. It's all very absurd. You will see episodes both on Finnegan's Garage and on the David Freiburger channel about that whole debacle.
I agree. This is absurd. And if we had not built an engine in the limo truck to power the limo truck, I would have turned around at one point because this thing was going 12 miles an hour up mountains.
Yeah, it was not going to make it all the way.
It was not going to make it all the way. But now, oh my God, the limo truck is the best tow rig ever, as long as you don't mind frequent gas stops. And to answer your question, the plan is to get it back to Georgia, and then this summer fix everything, which is a complicated deal because the last time we used it for an episode of Roadkill, the engine puked the head gaskets, it locked up, We broke the back off the transmission. We broke drive shaft. We broke a lot of stuff.
The rear end is blown up.
The rear end
suspension is garbage. The brakes don't work. The
Yeah.
wiring is on fire.
All of that.
Plumbing's not good. Basically, it's a body and a frame and a brand new gear star transmission.
Yeah.
That's what you get.
After that, Lucky Costa did get a new gear star transmission put in it, but everything else is still broken. And so it's a great looking vehicle and we're attached to it. And that's the only reason it's about to get fixed and saved, because everything is junk. So the plan is we're going to fix it and get it running again, but more importantly, we're going to make it so that it will do wheelies without destroying itself every time. And that's a multi-pronged attack. So that's revamping the whole front suspension to make it more durable, putting a new rear end in it that isn't blown up and that doesn't pop out of gear all the time, and then building a weight rack for the rear of it that slides so that when you want to drive it around, you can slide it forward and you'll be able to steer. But when you want to do wheelies, you can slide it backwards, add some weight bias so that you don't have to put the motor on the wood to get it to pop up. It will gently come up and then gently come down. So ultimately, I would love for kids to be able to see this thing in real life, not just on TV doing wheelies. This is Gannon Geiger. Asked, David, was there ever a time you considered selling your Super Bee but didn't?
Yep. I was maybe early 20s, and there was a guy who had a 70 Satellite convertible that I wanted, and I offered to trade him.
Ooh.
And then there was another time when I owned both my 70 Dodge Super Bee and my 1971 six-pack Roadrunner. And I had sold the Roadrunner, and when the guy showed up, and it had no motor in it, and it was in rough condition, my Super Bee was a fully functional car, it was nice. I told the guy, you can take the Super Bee instead.
Oh.
And he knew that the six-pack Roadrunner was the way we're going. My car is like, no.
Okay. Interesting. Eric MCI says, have either of you ever been asked by a car maker to consult on model/part, etc. development? Yes. Yeah, it happened recently.
So,
I don't know what I can say about it. A car maker whose CEO I'm friendly with. I don't know that we're friends, it's not like we hang out at each other's houses. But for whatever reason, this dude texts me, and they were about to launch a new lineup of trucks, and we went back and forth several days over what it should be named and what kind of it could look like, although I believe they already had that figured out like well before, because the truck launched pretty soon after that. I don't think I influenced anything other than maybe what they called it a little bit, but that's the only time in my life a car maker has ever asked my opinion on anything. Well, I'm gonna guess that's happened to you more than once.
When I started at Hot Rod in the 90s, we were pretty close with all of the car makers, because we had a lot of voice back then. There was no internet, there was no car TV, we were it. And we did know guys from a lot of the car manufacturers. But I really didn't have any kind of influence until I was the editor of Four Wheel and Off-Road magazine. And one of the things that we did every year was the 4x4 of the Year test, where we would take all of the 4x4s that were either new or significantly redesigned or new mechanicals or whatever for every model year, and we would shoot them all out and declare a winner. And through that, you would end up giving a lot of feedback to the manufacturers, because they would be unhappy with the results, and they would want to know why you didn't let them win or why they scored badly in a category. And sometimes they were really upset, and they would actually come out. We would have to walk them through and show them, this is why you lost. I remember one circumstance in particular when GM had four-wheel anti-lock brakes, I think, maybe it was just two-wheel, on the S10 4x4s.
The truck is wagon. Yeah.
Yeah, we're also going 82.
Ah. Yeah, without tongue weight, I think.
Yeah, it's starting to.
I think 75 is our max.
Yeah. me see if I can accelerate out of it.
That's better.
Yeah, this thing has negative tongue weight. You pop the thing and anyway, that's another episode.
That's another episode. You'll see that.
Yeah, we were driving, I think, a 4-door Blazer, and we published, it's got these anti-lock brakes, and they're dangerous on the street, and they don't stop in sand, and I was able to get it to stop at a shorter distance with the fuse pulled than I was just using the anti-lock.
Interesting.
GM was upset. You know, they're like, you can't say this. This is a massive liability problem. You're wrong. And at that point, they flew engineers out. And one of my guys took them out in one deal, and I took them out to the drag strip to show the stopping. There was a place in the Hollywood Hills that always had water going down a hill. Like, I don't know why.
Right.
Always wet, and therefore it was kind of mossy. And one of my guys lived up there, and he said, I can't drive this car to work because it's coming down the hill. I go through the intersection at the bottom every time. It will not stop.
Whoa.
And he took him to that hill, was there, laying to the brakes, try and stop. Couldn't do it. Went right to the intersection at the bottom. And another one of my guys took him out to the sand dunes and showed them that because it wouldn't skid, it wouldn't build up sand in front of the tire, and it didn't stop. It just went all the way down the dune. And then we went to the drag strip, and I literally showed them with a guy riding in the shotgun, I can stop this thing faster with the ABS fuse pulled than I can standing on the pedal.
Wow.
And they were like, huh, okay.
Those are scenarios they never imagined.
Yeah.
You know?
And they went back and reprogrammed it, and obviously nailed it. But that was a big deal.
Wow.
Haley and I also had a lot to do with the Jeep Wrangler Rubicon in the early days.
Yeah, doesn't the Rubicon have flip-flops on the windshield because of payway? Or you?
All modern jail Wranglers have flip-flops on the cowl panel right next to the wiper arm. And unfortunately, it's the wrong kind of sandals because Payway wears the Tevas that strap on.
Oh, yeah.
And I wear the flip-flops, but it's meant for Payway.
That is pretty darn cool. All right, I'm going to try to do something. And that is, I'm going to try to call the winner of my Buick Regal, the T-Type, that the lawyer finally called me. They have a winner. And I don't know who this dude is, but I'm going to see if, I don't know if he's on an iPhone or not, but I'm going to try to FaceTime him right now. Okay, so our winner is a guy named Ryan Berger from Hillsboro, Oregon. And he knows he won something. He doesn't know he won the car.
Okay. Oh, because he was contacted by the sweepstakes people to verify his information.
Right. And all they said was, you've won something. Hey, what's up, dude? How you doing?
Doing all right. It is weird to see you on my phone.
Well, the reason I'm calling is I have good news. You won my Regal, brother.
Did I?
Yeah. I don't know what you bought or how you did it, but the lawyer called me and said that of all the entries, you were the guy that is going to be able to park that badass turbocharged Buick T-Type in your garage. So congratulations.
Thank you. That's awesome.
So I guess, so you're in Oregon, right?
Yeah.
So I guess
Outside of Portland.
the only question I have is, do you want me to fly you into Georgia and you drive it home, or do you want me to ship it to you? You don't have to answer now.
More than likely ship it just because of the weather, between here and there. I don't know how it would look.
Oh yeah.
Wouldn't want to risk something like that.
I can imagine.
Yeah, shipping would probably be the safest bet.
Okay, cool. Well, have you ever had a G-body before?
No, I have not.
You ever had anything with a turbo before?
Yeah, a couple things.
Oh, right on. So you're in.
It's got a Supra, so.
Oh, he's got a Supra.
No, my girl has it's got a Puri 100 turbo kit on it, a bunch of fun stuff, so it gets down. It makes like 500 of the wheels, so. I daily do it pretty often, so.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, hell yeah. Well, now you got another daily driver.
Dude, can't wait. 'Cause my Tundra is a 24 and it's got twin turbos, but I don't like that thing. It's all right.
Oh, so you got the Tundra with the 6-cylinder and all the problems.
Yeah, exactly.
Have they fixed all the problems, or is that still a thing?
Yeah. No, it's had a few that they fixed. Like the cameras went out, my multimedia went out, so like my big old screen went black. There's a few things they fixed, but like the motor's still on recall, and they told me either it has to blow or they have to get through all the blown ones before they can get to mine.
Wow, that's wild.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude.
Man, I kind of want to fly out there because I want to meet you. I've watched you since I was like 10 years old. You and Freiburger.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Freiburger's right here.
Dude, hi, Freiburger.
What's happening? Congratulations, that's cool.
Thank you. Yeah, I entered to win your Suburban first, and then I saw his like a week later, and I was like, I can't help myself.
Well, out of 2, you scored 1. I'd say that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm all for it.
Cool.
Right on. Do me a favor. Tell the people at home what you bought to win yourself a Buick Regal.
I bought 4 T-shirts and I believe 2 hoodies. I bought a Blasphemy shirt. I bought the Bacon shirt. Can't go wrong with that one. Bought a few things. You remember? I bought so much at once. I also bought the Russ is lighter than carbon steel
Oh, I love that one.
shirt and the hoodie.
Wow, you went crazy, dude. Well, thank you for the support, man. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, dude. I will holler at you later. You have a great day at work.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
All right, man. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Dude, that guy's so cool. Wow. So the last couple of people that have bought things, one guy, the guy that won my Datsun bought a t-shirt like 7 years ago and then just bought another t-shirt and won the Datsun.
Yeah.
And this dude went nuts. He bought hoodies, shirts, and hats. So I guess the point is, it doesn't matter what you buy. And actually, you don't have to buy anything. You can always mail in a postcard and get entered. So, but the real point is, people do win these things. They're not fake. So we will ship him his car, and hopefully he keeps in touch and lets us know how much he enjoys it. That's it for this episode of Finnegan's Garage. Thank you guys for hanging out as always. If you want to support the channel, the best way to do that is to go to fsmgarage.com and grab some of the merch. All right, we'll see you next Sunday.